Welcome to today's explainer, the Silver Core Social Media Reset. So if you are a senior care operator, I'm willing to bet you've noticed a really frustrating trend lately. That social media strategy that worked flawlessly for you back in 2023, well, it's not just underperforming today, it is literally actively working against you. Let's figure out exactly why that's happening. Okay, let's dive into this. And let's be super honest for a second. When was the last time that someone who doesn't already know your community, actually shared one of your posts with a person they care about? And, I'm not talking about a passive little like from someone just mindlessly double tapping their screen while they wait in line for coffee. I mean a real, deliberate, person-to-person share. Like a total stranger deciding, wow, this content is so incredibly valuable or so moving, I absolutely have to send this to my sister right now. If you're struggling to answer that, well, it tells us something absolutely vital. Right now, your content is probably trapped in an echo chamber. You're reaching your own staff and you're reaching your current families. And hey, that creates this really comforting illusion of success, right? It feels nice when those likes roll in, but the reality, you aren't reaching new families, which means at the end of the day, you are fundamentally failing to build new trust out there in the wider community. So, to really wrap our heads around this plateau, we have to look at how platforms like Facebook and Instagram have evolved, because it's like night and day. Back in 2023, passive engagement, that was totally enough. You post a nice picture, people like it, and boom, the algorithm shares it out to the world. But then, throughout 2024 and 2025, Meta made a massive shift. They deliberately pivoted their algorithms to heavily reward meaningful social interaction. Fast forward to today, in 2026, and getting real, actual business results, it requires a completely new playbook. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math behind the shift. It's actually pretty wild. 40 is now literally greater than 100. Let me explain. In today's landscape, a post that generates just 40 comments receives exponentially more distribution than a post with 100 passive likes. The platforms, they want debates, they want sharing, they want that deep engagement because, let's face it, that's what keeps users on their apps longer. A comment requires real, genuine effort from a human being, and the algorithm heavily rewards that investment. This creates a pretty harsh contrast between what feels safe to post and what actually works. I mean, for years, right, things like staff birthdays or those lovely promotional photos of an empty, beautiful dining hall, they effortlessly generated passive likes. We all did it. But today, those safe posts are being actively penalized and deprioritized. If your content doesn't spark comments or shares or saves or big reply threads, the algorithm simply stops showing it, like to anyone. And here is the really tough reality. The more you post those safe, passive updates, the smaller your audience becomes. I know it is incredibly frustrating when you're working so hard on your marketing. But by continually posting content that doesn't get shared or doesn't get discussed, you are actively training the algorithm to ignore your page. You are inadvertently making your entire community invisible to the very families out there who are desperately searching for care. But don't panic, because thankfully there is a clear, data-driven way out of this. Let's move to and see how this builds into our solution. Just 2 days ago, Varsity Branding published a fascinating report from June 22nd, 2026, confirming exactly what these trends suggest. The senior care organizations that are actually generating real inquiries and tours right now, they have entirely changed what they post. So this isn't just some marketing theory, it is a proven strategy that we can literally just learn from and adopt. So what exactly are those successful organizations doing? Let's break down the 2026 playbook. First, they prioritize the caregiver's perspective. They are speaking directly to that exhausted adult child who is trying to manage an aging parent. Second, they are totally ditching those expensive, polished, glossy commercials. What actually works now is raw, authentic 45-second phone video. We're talking real, unfiltered moments. Think about a quick video showing a staff member gently, expertly redirecting a resident living with dementia. That is powerful. And finally, they're using real conversation-starting questions to build a supportive, highly active community right there in their comment section. Now, this strategy, it isn't expensive, but it does require a massive mindset shift. As the quote here hits the nail on the head, it requires replacing content that felt safe and branded with content that actually reaches the people you're trying to reach. That means letting go of that comfortable corporate polish. You really have to be brave enough to embrace the sometimes messy, highly emotional reality of senior care. Because ultimately, that raw authenticity, that is exactly what makes an overwhelmed daughter stop scrolling, feel totally understood, and hit that share button. So the crucial point is, you actually have the power to fix your reach today.
right now. You just need to update your map for this totally new landscape. If you want a little help figuring out what your specific community strategy should look like going forward, I highly recommend checking out silvercore.io to book a quick call or just watch their demo. It's honestly a fantastic place to start rebuilding your strategy and driving those meaningful interactions. I'm going to leave you with this final thought to carry with you today. Are you ready to stop playing by the old rules and start reaching the families who actually need you? The behaviors of these families have completely changed, and your strategy absolutely must evolve right along with them. So here's my challenge to you. Take a hard, honest look at your last 5 social media posts and ask yourself, do these spark a real conversation? Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today, and be sure to come back tomorrow for even more insights. See you then.